welcome to an early edition of Theories and Thoughts podcast with your hostess, Arnya and
Fancy.
Y'all, this time change have us discombobulated at the time. But nevertheless, we have a great, amazing guest today, and we needed to accommodate her schedule with her, I think it's her nurse or someone who helps her. So that's why we had to change the time up. But nevertheless, here we are. We are here to talk about current things. Why not? Right? So the first thing is rest in peace to John Lewis. As you guys know, John Lewis actually, they just came out with a movie. Erica Alexander, and I can't think of the other lady, actually produced it, and a lot of people was like, I'm gonna be honest. Can I be transparent? Is this a safe space? I thought he had died last year, and I actually messaged Fancy that, and I was like, wait, girl, I thought he passed last year, but that was Elijah Cummings. A lot of people got upset because people was posting a picture of Elijah Cummings and saying John Lewis, and they were like, well, all black people don't look alike. Well, those two brothers look similar. They look very, very similar. Nevertheless, we know that John Lewis walked with Martin Luther King. He was a part of the lots of boycott, the bus. What was it called? Mine. The sit-ins. He was a part of a lot of things. So we appreciate him for all his efforts. Anything you wanted to add to that?
Well, no. I'll just say I did also mistake him for Mr. Cummings as well. And I see apparently one of the, who is it, Marco Rubio or someone did the same thing as well. So I don't know, but I did. He did do a lot of great things. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm multitasking here, but rest in peace. And I do think, that the fight should continue on. I will say that because he really put a lot into it. One thing I did wonder about that was, how did he feel upon passing? Like, did he feel like we had made any progress or not? That was just one thought.
And that's the thing. A lot of people were saying, and the movie is actually on Prime, and a lot of people were saying that, Erica Alexander was like, what is this, another movie showing how John Lewis got beat up or whatever, So a lot of people, it was thought that a lot of people thought of him as someone who was always getting hurt or something like that. So I don't know. So we have also rest in peace C.T. Vivian, civil rights activist. Also, I'm not familiar. He's dead at the age of 97. His name is Cardi Tidell Vivian, and he was an American minister, author, and close friend and lieutenant of Martin Luther King Jr. during the civil rights movement. He resided in Atlanta, Georgia, and founded the C.T. Vivian Leadership Institute. So although he was a civil rights leader that I didn't know, I did want to bring to light. You never know what you will learn whenever some people pass. Some people are in the background and they're not so vivid. And when they pass, you learn so much about them. So I know I'm going to look him up and kind of see a lot of things that he has going on, that he had going on. So I can come, have that knowledge. I love to learn and I love to know more about people who especially for our people. So.
Yeah. I just feel so, I'm not, okay, y'all know, like, very transparent moment. I feel so unprepared right now. And I also, the crazy thing is, like, I'm not familiar with Mr. C.T. Vivian. I did plan to look him up, but I have not had a chance to. But I did actually do a lot of research on Mr. John Lewis on Friday night. And then I didn't write it out. So now I just feel like, gosh, because I know that there were some things that I wanted to highlight. Then I like he ended up being he was a keynote speaker at this major. I think it was it wasn't the Million Man March, because he was like 23, if I'm not mistaken, at the time. But you still know that that's a big accomplishment. So I hate that we don't have that there. But yeah, but I'm sorry, y'all.
He did a lot. John Lewis did a lot, and he was so young. And I think that's what I just waste water all over. Today just feels crazy. It just feels crazy. That's okay. That's okay. He actually he did a lot at such a young age. He was doing the bus things at 18, 19. And that's what Erica was saying. I was watching it on the Breakfast Club. That's what Erica was saying. She was saying that a lot of people don't realize just how young he was and how passionate he was about this, knowing that he can go and he can die. Speaking of John Lewis, and how they were supposed to have police escorts, and when they got there, the police got on with the protesters, joined in with the people that was protesting them, doing the sit-ins and different things. So now that we got past our bereavements, well, not past it, but y'all know what I'm saying. Congratulations to Nicki Minaj on her pregnancy of her first child. The official announcement came out July 20th. However, if you look at her page and you see a picture on June 12th, she definitely looks pregnant.
No, you can finish. I'll let you finish.
I was just gonna say congratulations to her, and she got married last year, I want to say, and just congratulations to her and her husband. This is the time. I was thinking totally off kilter. Well, not off, but about her and anybody else. This will be a good time for a celebrity to have a baby.
Because they can take the time off?
Yeah, because they're taking the time off and they don't have to worry about being pregnant. Like if it's an actress being pregnant in the scene or anything like that. It's like her. They're not going to be able to go in concert until next year sometime. Do a concert, really go on the road. So you have time to really just be in that moment with your child or, with being pregnant and everything. So.
Yeah. And it makes a lot of sense. Also, I was just going to say, though, I know most people, there are quite a few pregnant people right now, seems like it, but I would just be kind of nervous about being pregnant during this time. But so far, it seems like, I did just read an article where they were like, and that was in Texas. Did you read that about like the 85 babies that tested positive for COVID? Okay, and I'm not trying to bring down the Nicki Minaj moment at all, because congratulations to her, and the pictures were beautiful. But it's just that's kind of my concern throughout this, and I've just steadily I'm always reading, so I've just kind of been looking to see how things have been going for those who are pregnant throughout this time, like what new findings they may have had. So, but it seems like most people that I saw deliver online have been, things have been okay.
Right. And with that, and this is the thing about the whole COVID thing, and we get off of that subject. They had a story come out today. I don't know if you've seen that, saying that 80% of the stats of people having COVID was untrue. It was false. Mm-hmm. And that's why I don't put a lot into the whole COVID thing. And somebody also posted one day, they were like, COVID is not a death sentence. Although there's no cure and different things, it's not a death sentence. We just need to get it under control. And that's basically what they're trying to do. But I don't know. I don't watch the news, so I don't know about it gives me anxiety. I got enough anxiety going on.
Yeah, it's probably for the best. But it was in Texas. That's the reason why I asked, because it was they said it was all within one little, town or area or something. Oh. I was just curious. But yeah, so moving on.
Can we give Terry to some other folks and we take somebody else? Because that's where I'm at right now with him. I just feel like Terry Crews is just talking to get some attention. I don't know what his wife is doing. He's almost like the other guy that we're not gonna talk about. Like, is he manic also? What is the problem? What is it? And
I just I don't know why, but I guess for the longest I was kind of, when I was reading the headlines and so on about him, I was associating him with the White Chicks movie. And then, you know, after so many, you kind of be like, wait, he really into this. Like, this is like, you know. So at this point now, I really don't know. I'm like, if it is for attention, whose attention is he trying to get? Like, you know, who is gonna want to work with him? At least from our community, after a lot of the things that he said, or you know. But at the same time, I mean, maybe if he's going for something that's going to get him into the Oscars or something, somebody's going to pick him up. But it just seems weird. It's like when people do stupid things for attention, you know, you just kind of be like, what is that supposed to get you? But that's kind of how I feel about him. I was really, especially after he went through the Me Too moment, you know, maybe that was the change for him, you know. Maybe. I don't know. Like, you know, maybe he started talking with more women and they weren't Black women or something. Something just, he seemed okay before. And then, But I've never saw anything about mental health with him. But while just on this subject right quick, and the person that we don't talk about, I do like the fact that a lot of people are addressing, you know, how when it's some people and we know, like, it's known that they have mental health issues, it's one way, whereas when it's other people, you know, and they mention Nina Simone, what is her name, Azalea Banks. I never really knew much about Azalea, but it just seemed like whatever I heard was always some kind of chaotic. But in comparison to that other person, you know, that other person is like, oh, tell him to call me, he needs to. But why aren't we showing the same type of compassion for those other people now? You know, mental health is one of my things. So that just really stood out to me, you know, and I think that I hope that more people are paying attention and like kind of rethinking their actions, because if he deserves your sympathies, your thoughts and prayers, and your, oh, let me give him another chance, give these other people other chances as well.
You know what? I seen it on Chrisette Michelle. One of the girls was like, well, why didn't we have the same energy and forgiveness for Chrisette Michelle? Chrisette Michelle went through a miscarriage, which caused, you know, all of that crap with her singing at the White House, and her miscarriage caused her to get a divorce, and she's been her career, you know, and she was like, I did it, you know, not for him, but just to show, you know, what she wore had something about Black men, Black on it, and she sung a song that was that too, but nobody gave her forgiveness. Everybody wanted to cancel her, but why haven't we canceled him? Why we give him chance after chance to make a fool of his damn self, and that's the only damn thing he keeps doing.
Yeah.
Moving on. Yara Shahidi signs overall deal with ABC Studios to develop scripts and unscripted projects through her production company. This is what Dateline posted yesterday. It says growing star Yara Shahidi is expanding her relationship with ABC Studios. Shahidi and her business partner and mother, Carrie Shahidi, has signed an executive overall deal with the studio behind the hit series to develop and produce scripted and alternative television projects for cable, streaming, and broadcast via their newly launched production company, Seventh Son. The company will be based at ABC Studios and part of ABC Television Studios. I am here for all these young ladies, and that's two off of Grownish, Blackish. That's out here just doing it. I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for it. I love it. I can appreciate it, and yay to her. That is definitely a win for our community and for young folks. And that, you know, we always hear about parents taking their kids' money, and in these cases we don't hear that. We hear they're partnering up, they're doing stuff. So
yeah, I was just gonna say I love her and her mom's relationship. Like they're always together. They look so cute, and they just seem like they are good work partners. And oftentimes people be ready to get away from their parents, so that's a good thing. Well, so let me get to our sponsor. I want to say for the evening, say for the day. 1 second, y'all. So the sponsor for this evening is Sweetly Created for You. Let me get them up on the screen. All right, so Sweetly Created for You crafts their own signature line of dessert, candles, melts, fresheners, car and air, sanitizers, and more. Currently carrying more than 30 cents and always looking to custom create. The brand is also expanded to wholesaling and private labeling. So if you all, I wish I would have thought to, but y'all know I ain't even had the other stuff together. I had thought to have brought some, to add some photos of her candles because they look so good. If from the description, if you cannot tell, what she basically does is like, all her candles look like food. So she does you gotta see them, Anya. They are so beautiful, and she puts so much into them, and she gets so creative. So Brandy Coffee is the CEO, and actually Brandy started this brand because she had colon cancer. So I kind of thought, just kind of pairing along with that, that's another entrepreneur that you all can support that went through something and that happened to bring about their purpose. But Brandy's candles are really great. You all can check out her website at www.sc4ucandles.com and follow her on Instagram at I think I have that combined, I'm sorry, but it's actually at SC4UCAN. That's not right either. Okay, so I will add that one in the comments, but visit her website at SC4UCANDLES.com. Anya, you looked up like a school teacher. I'm sorry, wait, what are y'all doing?
No, I was trying to share because I had forgot to share on my pages. And he was like, that's not right. I'm like, what ain't right? That's how you spell candles.
I'm sorry.
I combined. And I'm like, huh? What you combine? That's why I was like,
oh, yeah. But I'm gonna bring it, I guess, y'all. Look, I guess that was my little stress breaker right there. Because y'all see, I've been tense. I ain't even able to smile. So let's welcome Miss Keisha Greaves into the show. Wait.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear us, Keisha? We can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello, ladies.
Hi, welcome, Keisha, to Theories and Thoughts podcast.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Can you tell our audience a little bit about you and what it is that you do?
Sure. So a little bit about me is that, so my name is Keisha. I'm the founder of Girls Chronically Rock clothing brand, which I founded in 2017 because I wanted to create something to help empower and motivate. I love it. People in the disability community, because I was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy in around 2010, 2011, when I was in graduate school receiving my master's degree. So I was in my early 20s and boom, out of nowhere, I was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy.
Wow. Go ahead, Nancy.
Well, I'm sorry, and I'm not as familiar with muscular dystrophy.
Oh, of course. I'm still learning myself, girl.
So you're just so, and that's great though. You're so positive and upbeat because I was just thinking, you were just starting in life, but kind of, in life, how did things change for you? How did your life change for you?
It totally changed. And yes, I appreciate when people are like, oh my God, you're so positive and things like that. But trust me, I still have my days and it always was not like this. So as you're right, here I am in my early 20s, living my best life, going out with friends in graduate school. And then I started to get really weird symptoms where I would just be walking and my leg would kind of just give out on me, out of nowhere, and I would just fall to the floor. And when I fell, it wasn't like I was able to give myself back up. It was pretty much a dead weight where I needed 1 or 2 people assistance to get me up. So at that time, I just thought, oh, I need to lose some weight, no big deal, just kind of brushing it off. But it was the last time me and my mom and sister were leaving the supermarket, and then boom, I fall again. And I'm like on the floor. And then I remember a strange man came over and was like, oh my God, do you need help? Because my mom and sister weren't able to get me up. So my mom at that time was like, I think you need to go see maybe an orthopedic because something's not right. So I'm just like, all right, still not really thinking anything of it, like just brushing it off. So we go to see an orthopedic. I always remember that day we're in the examination room. I'm lying down. The doctors come in. They're like, can you raise your right leg up? And the right leg would only probably go up like just a little bit, not even like that high, like how a normal able-bodied person can lift up their leg. Same thing on the left side. So they just kind of looked at each other puzzled and was like, I think maybe you need to see a neurologist because this seems like something more neuromuscular. So I'm like, all right, whatever, just still like brushing it off. I go see a neurologist. We go straight to it. Take several testings, MRI, EKG. We even did a muscle biopsy where they took a piece of muscle from out of my right leg. So from that muscle biopsy, that's when they determined that I have muscular dystrophy. So of course, my world, I felt like shut down. I was shut down. I wasn't really telling family and friends. I didn't know what the future hold. And here I was, of course, when we find out things and try to diagnose ourselves, I go on Google and start researching, reading all these things like affected at childhood birth, don't know how long you can live, no treatment, no cure. So what am I supposed to think? So of course, I totally shut down and I'm in total denial.
Right, because I was gonna say that, I'm a Christian. Most Christians be like, "Oh, we're gonna pray this away. We're not gonna accept that." And I be like, "Some things ain't about you. You still gonna deal with it."
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, what was your mindset at that time? So, how long did it take for you to open up and to talk to people after your diagnosis?
It took some time. Like I tell people, honestly, I feel like I just came out of denial like the other day. So it was one day my friend was like, oh, why don't you write a blog? And I thought to myself, like, why would I write a blog? I don't have muscular dystrophy. That's how much in denial I was. Because when I was first diagnosed, looking at me, you wouldn't tell something's wrong. I wasn't walking with no mobility aids. I was driving and still working in the retail field. And then when things started to progress, I started to use a cane. And then when I went on job interviews, I would tell them I sprained my ankle or I was in a car accident. So I never came out and said muscular dystrophy because that sounded better. Me saying muscular dystrophy out loud, it just made it seem real. So it was like, honestly, whatever came to mind. I was like, oh, I was in a car accident. I sprained my ankle, because it's like it sounded better in my head. So when my friend told me to write the blog, I just thought, oh, whatever. So then one day I just kind of opened up my laptop and I started writing out loud, saying, wow, I have, all my symptoms and how I am chatting with you ladies now. And then it took to me at that moment as I'm typing, saying it out loud. And I was like, wow, I have muscular dystrophy. That's crazy. It's like, never mind what the doctors were saying in the test results. Because when she called me that first day, I honestly thought, oh, she called the wrong person. It's not me. I don't have muscular dystrophy because it's saying it affects people from childhood birth. I'm not a child. I'm in my early 20s. So all of that was in my head. So when I started typing it, I'm like, wow, I have muscular dystrophy. So I just started posting it on Tumblr. I posted it on social media. And then I got such great, positive feedback and support. And that really made me feel good. It kind of just opened the door a little bit to open my story. And these were people that I chatted to on a regular basis. And they're like, oh my God, you never even mentioned you had that. Because looking at me, you wouldn't know. So that is, how I started to open up. And then what really helped me was also, thank goodness for this whole social media today with hashtag, like I would use hashtag muscular dystrophy, hashtag chronic illness, hashtag disability awareness. And that kind of just opens up a whole new range of other people I've connected to that have muscular dystrophy, lupus, MS. Because like I always say, yes, the support of family and friends is awesome. I am grateful for them, but there's nothing, and I mean nothing like talking to somebody who understands and that's what you're going through on a daily basis. So that definitely has helped me open up, seeing others share their story, and that's just kind of, how I am today, being able to chat with you ladies. Because if you had asked me this a few years back, I'll be like, no way, why would I do that? I don't have muscular dystrophy. So it was kind of, amazing to see where I have came.
Wow. And I definitely agree with you can't really feel what I'm feeling unless you done went through what I went through. And
right.
I used to say that about cancer. Like it's a difference when somebody from cancer tell you, oh, I got over it, and now I'm on the other side of it, opposed to me saying you're gonna be all right. So that's triumphant. And the fact that your friend pushed you, I hope y'all still friends.
Yes, we are. We are.
Yeah, I'll throw that in there. So, I'm sorry, Fancy, did you have something real quick?
No,
Okay. When did you decide, you know what? Okay, I'm doing this. I'm gonna do a fashion line. I'm gonna really like put myself out there, because it sounded like you was just like, you know, I don't have it, and then you were kind of like, well, okay, I'll just talk to these people and I'm gonna share my story. Now all of a sudden you have a whole movement, like a whole thing going. Like, this shirt is cute.
Yes, I love it. Thank you for rocking it.
Let me show. I'm trying to. Well, I'll try to show mine before you get out, because I'm sitting a little lower, but I think I'll follow this way.
So how I started Girls Chronically Rock and how that came about is I always had a passion for fashion. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, own my own line, because I studied fashion design and merchandising at Framingham State University out here in Massachusetts. So, of course, when I was diagnosed, I'm thinking, oh my God, what does my future hold? What is going to happen? So all that's in my head. So I couldn't even process, opening up a business brand. So then as time went on, when I started to come out my shell and open up about what was going on with my muscular dystrophy, I thought, I'm a true believer in things do happen for a reason. So I thought, why not create something to help inspire and motivate others and kind of express my journey and my feelings through my line. So, because I love always wearing graphic t-shirts, different logos. I always say like random things. So that's how I started off with the t-shirt line. And so, and then I started off with first on Etsy.com. And then from there, I kind of just was like, it's time to, build my own website and look more professional. So the logo changed, everything got revamped. And then that's when I have my own website now, Girls Chronically Rock. But I plan to do so much more just beyond t-shirts. Like right now I have accessories, I have men's line, Kids Chronically Rock. I added some home decor pillows. So it's like I plan to do so much more. I plan to create an adaptive clothing collection under the Girls Chronically Rock umbrella for people with disabilities, because what people may not understand is that it takes us a while to get dressed on a regular basis with, the weakness in our limbs and our bodies, and with the different disabilities, chronic illnesses out there. It's a challenge getting dressed, and that's with my personal care attendant help, where just putting on a t-shirt can take some time. So something that's more functional in clothing, like something with snaps on the shoulder that will be easy and functional to pull over my head and my arms to get through. And, so I would love to do that under the Girls Chronically Rock umbrella. I would love to see Girls Chronically Rock in some more fashion shows. And I'm looking to honestly get it into some department stores such as Target and Macy's, and just looking to build Girls Chronically Rock into that major empire.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love, because, just the how you're looking ahead and incorporating things, as well as even when you just said that about the fashion shows, I was like, I think they're kind of a younger group, but I definitely would like to connect you with someone else that I'm just thinking of. I think they do like an inclusion fashion show.
Yes, definitely.
I think that would also be a good, avenue. But it's just like, I'm just still kind of amazed. A lot of times we might discover something about ourselves, or just think of, like get some type of diagnosis, and we don't really know how to move on. And then when you shared your process, I really understood what you went through, like how you finally were able to accept it. But for those, who may still kind of be struggling, what would you suggest to them? Like how do you, because you actually taken your pain and turned it more into your purpose, and found a way to prosper off of it or profit off of it. But I know a lot of people just still kind of be like, the woe is me. And I also just want to note right quick too, I think even with what you're doing, like with the line itself, I kind of thought you were going to say that, like with the fashion, kind of to make other individuals be more excited about getting dressed as well, or just getting that energy, like, let me look cute today,
Exactly, definitely, especially with the inspirational quotes I have on, my t-shirts and things like that. So yeah, because it took some time.
Did you? But then the question was actually, I'm sorry, because I made the note. But the other question was like, what other advice would you give to those who might be still, struggling with the diagnosis?
Oh, yes, of course. So what my advice would be is that definitely what helped me is reaching out and, using this social media platform. Like there's so many different support groups. There's one for muscular dystrophy, lupus. So I would say if you was just newly diagnosed with something, I would definitely say use the hashtags on social media. And feel free to reach out to that person if they're posting like, oh yeah, I have muscular dystrophy, I've been living with lupus. Feel free, because I know that's what I have done, and it definitely has helped me. Like, hey, I see that you're going through this. I was just recently diagnosed. How do you deal with it? Do you feel this fatigue in your body? Like, what's going on? How do you deal with this situation? And it definitely has helped because at the end of the day, they get it. They totally get it. So I would definitely say reach out to others that can understand what you're going through at that moment. And I think that would, because it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm over here like, this is dope.
Well, thank you.
I'm glad we was able to accommodate the time.
Yes, me too. And thank you, ladies, for doing that for me.
You're welcome. So what does a day in your life consist of, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure. A day in my life consists of when pretty much I wake up, my personal care assistant comes in because I need help getting out the bed. And then from there, I would go into the bathroom, go in the shower. I'm pretty much able to shower and stand in the shower on my own. But even taking a shower is exhausting. Standing up in the shower is exhausting because my body's so fatigued and tired with the muscles. Like when I come out from the shower, I feel as if I just finished running the Boston Marathon or something. That's just an idea of what my body feels like. So when I get out, then I have my PCA, aka personal care attendant, drive me off and then, gets me dressed. And, it was just a challenge, honestly, to get used to having a PCA. Because here I was living independent, doing my own thing, getting dressed on my own and all of that stuff. So it's like sometimes I think about I feel like I'm grieving the person I once was, if that makes sense. Because it's not like this is all I know. I had a whole life before this. So it's not like this was something I was born with. This came out of nowhere. So it's like I had a whole life before this, but it definitely has its challenge days. Some days I wake up, the body may feel fatigued, tired. Some days I may have a fall, but that's something I can't control. But I do wear my lifeline button, thankfully, because I do live alone. And so if I do have a fall, I hit my lifeline button and the EMTs or firefighters, whoever comes first on us, who will come and help me up off the floor. And I'm grateful for that because I don't have a PCA, like say 24/7. And I honestly would not want one in my face 24/7. I like my own space.
I believe you because I was going to ask you how long do you have that because I will be like, can you move?
Yeah, it's you have no idea. You have no idea. It was hard, but it's just something I'm getting used to. One of those things where it's like we can't control, kind of like with this whole pandemic right now. It's something that's out of my hands. This muscular dystrophy is here. I can't tell it to leave. I can't tell it to go away. I feel like this has control over my body, and I just have to take it day by day and go with the flow. But, focusing on my business, Girls Chronically Rock, watching my TV shows definitely keeps me entertained because I'm a TV fanatic. I watch everything. So, yeah, that definitely keeps me, going throughout the day.
Have you been impacted, in any way by the pandemic? Like, were you going out a lot before or anything?
I would say I wasn't going out much more. I was doing aquatic therapy in the pool, which is aquatic therapy really helps people that have like a muscle disease like myself. Because in the water, I'm able to hop around, do all these things that I can't do on land, if that makes sense. It's like I call myself a mermaid when I'm in the water. So that was one of the things where I kind of missed. But my PT physical therapist said that the pool is actually going to be opening back up soon, but just for one-on-one. But I am so paranoid, honestly. I haven't really gone out since this whole pandemic because I'm one of those I'm just freaked out by it. I feel like I'm gonna go outside and the corona's gonna be there waiting for me. I don't know. I just think that way. And I'm just one of those that I'm at high risk too due to my disability and the respiratory issues I have. So I'm just now my PCAs come in, they wash their hands immediately. They gotta put on their gloves, hand sanitizer. So I'm not playing. So so I pretty much been inside. But I feel like for me, I've always kind of social distance in a way. I kind of feel like this wasn't nothing new for me.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, well, damn, I'm here, I have to social distance because I have to, because I don't know what is going to happen out there. And then especially when people are out there, I'm hearing that are not taking it seriously, not wearing their mask. It's they're not making me feel confident than to go outside, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's pretty much I'm here. It made me more creative in my business. Now I created masks out of my t-shirts that I have here in inventory because I'm just the mask seems like it's going to be the new fashion trend, honestly, until further notice. So it just kind of gave me a mindset to think of more productive, creative things to add under Girls Chronically Rock umbrella.
Well, I also noticed that you just mentioned that is it because of the muscular dystrophy that you mentioned, the respiratory issues, like are respiratory issues a symptom? Okay.
Yeah, because they have like something with the breathing, and it does. My particular type of limb girdle muscular dystrophy does affect my heart, so I have to make sure to go get an echocardiogram once a year. So far, so good though. So hopefully, it stays that way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, is there anything else? I mean, did you have any other questions?
No, I didn't. But thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, is there any closing messages that, because I just feel like you still have a lot of positivity just kind of bursting through you. Anything you'd like to share?
I would just like to say, after being diagnosed and being in this disabled body, as I would say, I just realized like you kind of never know someone's story. You never know what somebody may be dealing with. I'm just from experience, when I used to walk around with my cane, people thought I was using it as a fashion statement. I went out to the club one night. This guy was like, "Oh, are you a pimp here in Boston?" So it's like things like that. And then when I used to park in the handicap spot, people would be like, "Oh my God, you don't look like nothing's wrong with you. Why are you parked there?" And it's like, obviously I got a sign for a reason. They don't just give that out to anybody. So it's kind of like, just got to be observant, and you never know what somebody's dealing with, what they're going through, why they may be walking a certain way, talking a certain way, or depressed or feeling down that day. You just kind of you never know what someone's dealing with. So I just like to spread that message out there.
All right. Oh, and look, y'all, let me try to show y'all my shirt. Wow.
Yes.
One second. I was trying to remove the crawler, so because I know how my screen is high. But yeah, so I have the white and black one. Look, can y'all?
Yes.
I hate how this always does this for me.
I gotta take a picture.
I be in the middle, so hey.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'm gonna spruce myself up some more though too before I take it. But I did also love the packaging, and I did a little boomerang.
Okay.
Oh, and I actually went live. That's kind of why I was a little behind today, because when I opened it up and I was like, "Oh, this is so pretty," and I was like, "Wait, I gotta try to get some of this." So I went live on the SwagHer Magazine Instagram and just kind of showed them the packaging and the little carts and everything that's inside. So I'll be certain that I get that to you as well.
Yes, thank you.
I just wanted to note that, because I was just like, look, I just feel so. But everything was really pretty. I love the paper and as well.
Thank you. I'm glad you guys are rocking it. Yay.
It really lets people know that I can still be girly, I can still be prissy, and although I have this situation, it doesn't have me.
Exactly.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for your theories and thoughts today.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Yay. Thank you, ladies.
Bye.
Bye.
That was dope.
Yeah, she has a really good spirit. Like,
She does.
I
would be the same way, that I'll probably be like, you don't need to know my business. Going through with my father didn't want to use his cane. He didn't want to use his walker. Now he can't do nothing, so he got to stand in the wheelchair now. But I mean, I didn't mean to laugh right there, but it's kind of like,